So now we get the tire off and we're going to put it back on. Tire direction. Look at that. It's got an arrow on it. Real easy to put it on backwards. See how I know. A lot of times what I do is, a lot of rims have directions on them, arrows, in case you're not sure, because you flip it around. Yeah, because it looks the same both
Does the front rim matter?
Excuse me?
Does the front rim matter?
Yes, because sometimes the spaces are different. You should go around the same direction. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. But if you're consistent, if you do it the same way, you can't go wrong. But sometimes you even have a speedometer drive on that side. So, I really don't care about this particular car, but you should. One thing about these arrows, it's a rain thing. It directs rain away from the center of the tire. At the track, I'll run one track day with the tire facing one direction, and then the next day I'll swap the tire around and run it backwards.
Hope it doesn't rain.
And if it doesn't rain, I'll go out of the track. I don't care less. But you're right. That's exactly it. You hope it doesn't rain. But that's why, since most of the turns are left-hand turns, guess what? One side of the tire is going to wear out real quick, and then you have to throw the tire away. But if you rotate it, and then you finish that, and you sell it to somebody for 3 times.
The middle's still good.
The middle is just fantastic. Okay, once again, we move the tire up. Any questions? Give the time for questions. No questions. All right. If you move the tire, you really don't want to have any water inside the tire. So if you do get water inside the tire, just wash that out. One thing I want to touch on. Stem. You should replace your rubber stem with a metal stem. You can buy from me, and they're cheap. Why? The reason is that the rubber stems do wear out. And they do get rotted, and they should be changed. Most bike shops just change the tire. They never change the stem. That's something you should. You put a metal one in, you're done. You never have to change it again. So that's something to consider. I personally won't even change the tire unless it's a stem. Because if anything happens, I know I've said before from the people here, I know 4 people that have valve stem sale. They're all on BMW. They obviously got a bad badge. Something was wrong.
Bell's on his R1. His front valve stem went at $170.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. These won't go out. So, throw stuff in your hand. Put it on because the indication is always.
I'm a drain of
There is a dot on a tire. Not all tires have it.
Usually it's the barcode.
Yeah, Michelin is a barcode. Some of them have it, some of them don't. But don't lose too much sleep over that. People will argue it's going forever as to, yeah, do this and that. That's a waste of force. In a perfect world, you want everything to be perfectly balanced. But, you're going to balance it anyway. So if you move it off, don't lose any sleep over it. There's too many other things to worry about. All right, here's the first thing. Now, notice I'm doing this by hand. I'm trying to get the force out of it. And it's not just easy. And the first one's free. Not always, but usually free. The second one, you're gonna have to earn that sucker. So you bring it back. You have to get the step in. Once again, you work it. And what you do is you kneel on it and you try to keep it in the center. You see how it's in the center here? If you don't do that, this is steel. You will never get this over that unless that's in the center. Flat out impossible without tearing up the tire and then one point. Once again, the stiffy protectors, big bucks. By the way, the ones you buy for $5 for the set, I'm trash. Don't waste your time. They're really fast. They're structural. Once again, the rim protectors are made specifically for this. I've used them before. They're junk. They're very hard to use. They're very fast, and they usually wind up inside the tire and it's a bitch to get them out. I find that these are much better. This is not my idea, but the person who, I read this off the net that recommended these. This works really good, even though some of those are a little bit thicker. They work just as well. Anything heavy, do not use the milk containers. Those things are made like 2 molecules thick. They aren't worth a crap. They tear up way too easy.
Much thicker plastic. Huh?
This is a much sturdier plastic. And I do recommend that all these directions are posted on the net. I just posted them the other day. Just read it again to refresh your memory, because I downloaded a lot of information here today. Where is my other tire iron? Here it is. Once again, small bites. This time we're going to do something different. We're going to go backwards. We're going to work from outside in instead of from the inside out, because we are installing the tire. Small bites. If you're working hard, you're doing it wrong. This is a fact. Now, be careful with these tire irons. See, now, I moved up my knees. This one you always keep in there. Make sure it doesn't fly out. Okay, I grab it, I feel the rim.
You can take $30.
50. Well, yeah, 30.
Take your own rim, it's 30.
There it is. Okay, now, very important. When you're putting air in a tire, this is a very foolish thing to do. See this?
Put your finger on the line?
Yeah, that'll hurt. Trust me, it'll hurt a lot. I've never done it, but I don't want to find out. So, when you're inflating a tire, you hold the tire like this, you put your hand up here, right, with a stem. And this is how you inflate it. It'll be very easy to do this without thinking about it. You have your hand up here all the time. Don't grab it like, just have it up here. We said very important. These are the only ones you're born with. This is the only thing that makes you different from the rest of the animal world. Okay? Enough said. Another thing, when you're inflating it, this thing's going to pop really hard. Expect it. And it'll still scare the heck out of you every time it does it. The reason I like to hold it like this is if anything happens to this bead, like for some strange reason it has a weakness in it or whatever and it blows out, you want it to blow out that way. You don't want it to be blowing out this way. This comes from aviation experience where we put 200 psi in a tire.
Wow.
So, and the tires are like 4 or 5 feet tall, and they're about this wide. So there's a tremendous amount of energy there. There's a tremendous amount of energy in here, but that one is just